I recently got my test results back from my blood test for this year, and my testosterone was almost 800, which is crazy because I'll put the actual number on the screen when I find the screenshot, which is crazy because literally just a couple years ago, I was probably like 400 to 500. Then I got tested last year and I was in the low 600s. Now it's in the like high 700s, which is insane. I just want to share with you guys what I did to kind of increase that, and also what I'm doing to increase my test even more for next year to hopefully hit 900. I think it's extremely possible, and it's crazy. That's a pretty nuts number these days. Very happy about it, very blessed, and I want to share with you what I did. So let's go over the list here. Now, I am no expert around testosterone at all. In fact, I'm an idiot. I was more shocked by these results than you are probably. But it appears the things I've been doing over the past 2-3 years have worked really well. So let's just go through them. The first thing is addressing deficiencies. So your body obviously produces testosterone, and it takes some raw materials. I'm no expert, but it takes raw materials to make testosterone. And if you're deficient in these things, obviously, you'll probably be a little deficient in test. And so what I did was I got tested for all of these things and noticed I was lacking 2 of them, and I started supplementing that. So the deficiencies I went over was magnesium, zinc, vitamin D3, and B12. Now, my B12 was great a while back because I did carnivore, so yeah, it makes sense. But I was lacking in magnesium, my zinc was way too high, and my D3 was very, very low. So what I did was, it's very simple. I just went to the store, got a quality D3 supplement, got a decent magnesium. I take L-threonate. That one's the best for me. And then I just took that daily. And I took a little bit of copper to kind of combat the zinc. And my numbers were in fantastic range. My doctor said my D3 was the best she's seen out of anyone's this year. I think it was like 60, which is still not even that crazy. But from 19 up to 60 is dope in like 3 months. So happy with that. Next thing is sunlight and grass. This ties into a lot of things later on we'll talk about, but naturally our testosterone should be much higher. And the current world we live in is the opposite of a testosterone producing environment. We're never outside. We're never really challenged physically. We're just in these dark caves like I'm in right now. So this is rich of me talking about sunlight and grass sitting in this cave, but I've been getting outside a lot more. So trying to spend as much time as I can in the sun and ideally in the grass. There's something about just being barefoot in the grass that just decreases stress and cortisol. And it just feels good for the soul. I don't have any scientific reason. People say that there's grounding and all this. I don't freaking know, but just get out in the grass. It's great. Next, I started identifying problem foods. So I went way too overboard with this a long time ago, and I did carnivore for 40 days, nothing but meat. That was not ideal for me, by the way, because I did meat and dairy, and my cholesterol was like almost 400. So not great for me, but I know it works for some people. But what that allowed me to do is start noticing that there's some foods that I don't really frick with. My body just does not like. And so I started trying to figure out what are those problem foods. And if I can cut back on those, not even cut them out completely, just cut back, I can really give my body the best chance to function the way it should. And so what I noticed is, what I would do is I'd cut out one specific kind of food or group at a time to see what happened. Then I would reintroduce it and see how I felt. So the first thing I kind of started with was, honestly, gluten. I've kind of known for a while that this doesn't do great with me. Anytime that I eat gluten, I immediately have congestion and my allergies get crazy and I don't feel that great. So I try to cut out gluten as much as possible though. That one's the one that I kind of cheat on the most because it's just so good. But I try to get as little gluten as possible. The next one was eggs. So I started feeling kind of weird every weekend. And I noticed that I only ate eggs and bacon on the weekends. And so I cut out eggs. This one is kind of like iffy. I don't know if it was really causing a whole lot of problems, but I definitely feel great without it. So I've kind of left out eggs for honestly 99% of the time. And the big one recently, which really kind of sucks, but it was a huge breakthrough, is dairy. I noticed that after all these crazy diets I've done from the very start of my diet journey, I've never cut out dairy. It's always been a huge staple of my diet. But I don't know what compelled me to try it. Maybe it was just the Lord throwing me a bone here. But I tried cutting out dairy for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, and I have felt phenomenal. Now, I don't know if it's a coincidence. It could completely be. I'm going to reintroduce some dairy down the line and see what happens. But so far, not eating gluten, eggs, and dairy, I've been on my game. Let me tell you what, brother. The next thing is very basic, but just getting water, staying hydrated. I'm in the process of cutting out coffee because I love coffee to death, but man, does it really kind of shoot you in the foot. For me, I respond really highly to caffeine, especially from coffee. So yesterday I had one and I did not sleep for 3 hours past when I should have been asleep because I'm so wired on it. Also, it gets me very dehydrated. I'm very thirsty. I have to piss like 30 times a day if I drink coffee versus when I'm drinking. I'm not sponsored, but Iman, if you see this, please freaking sponsor me, dude. I spend so much money on these. I love these big days from Iman. No artificial sugars, 0 calories and caffeine and some electrolytes. Huge fan. That's another thing, electrolytes. I've been taking a lot more of those, trying to get more water in. I just drink Element packets. They're a little bit expensive, but you know what? Who cares? Yeah. Next thing, sleeping with the sun. I know people talk about sleep and how important it is. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. It's extremely important. But what I've found is going to bed with the sun at like 9:30 my time is game changing. Now, I have a wife, which makes things a lot easier. But the closest you can get to going to sleep with the sun, the better, I would say. Next thing is doing long cardio. Now, this might piss some people off, but this is just personal preference. I worked with a coach about 8 months ago, and he had me doing some long cardio, and I tried it, man. I hate it. Like, I don't like running long distance. It just hurts everything. It hurts my joints. I just feel weak afterwards. But I've started doing like some HIIT cardio, doing some just athletic kind of sports stuff, soccer stuff, feeling great. So I'm much more a fan of HIIT and just strength training. Another thing is, this might blow some of y'all's minds. I've been training less. So in high school and college, I hit the gym religiously, like 6 days a week, crazy, lifting as hard as I can, pushing it to the limit every single day. Really, really crazy lifts. And I think I was so overtrained that I just was not rested at all because I wasn't sleeping right. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't drinking any water. I was vaping 24/7 and I was overtraining. So in this new season I've been focused heavily on stress. We'll talk about that. And my life has just been awesome the past couple of weeks. And it's actually made my gym sessions better. But what I do now is if I'm feeling like really tired or worn out, I won't go to the gym. I'll go to the gym when I have this abundance of energy and I'll crush it. I'll work hard, but I don't sit in there and follow some like perfectly structured routine. I just hit a big lift, do some accessories and call it. And I know might not work for everybody, but for me, I know that I needed to just train a little bit less and not push it so hard. And this is only for a season, of course. I know I'll want to get back into training super hard later, but given the stress I've been under with business and life, sometimes you got to just balance your stressors a bit. When I was in college, I had a little more tolerance because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing freaking anything with my life besides working out. So I could obviously work out a lot harder, a lot longer. But trying to carry that into a busy, stressful season with life and business and moving and trying to build a team, a product, all this stuff, doing a 2-hour gym session is just not going to cut it for me right now. So yeah, training less. And then brings us to our final most important point, which was stress. I don't know about you guys, but I just simply did not realize how much stress I was under on a day-to-day basis. And what I think we all need to realize is that stress is on a person-by-person basis. And it's more mental than anything else. And so if you think your life is crumbling, to you, your life is crumbling. Even if you have $1 billion and you're like, well, how are you stressed? If you have $1 billion and you don't work, well, man, if you think your life is crumbling, your life is crumbling. And that's how it's been for me. The past like 4 months, business was kind of stalling a bit, had a lot of operational complexity going on, a lot of problems, just dealing with a lot of stuff. And I was letting it get to my mind and I wasn't really giving it to the Lord as I should have been. I wasn't putting God first as well as I should have been. I wasn't just relying on Him, handing everything to Him and saying, here, God, this is yours. This is your business. help me to work hard, do what I'm supposed to do, but to not think that everything relies on me, because it doesn't. I'm just a broken sinner who is very thankful that God uses him in some ways. So what I did was, one, I just having that realization is huge. Realizing that it's in your head and you need to turn it over to the Lord. I started reading Ecclesiastes, which gave me this wonderful perspective on life in general and work and our purpose. Highly recommend watching a study on Ecclesiastes, reading it. 2 is living in the Spirit. So praying that, God, please help me to live in the Spirit today. Help me to be filled with joy with everything that I do. May people watch these videos. May they see me and think, wow, this guy he's just full of joy, and it's got to come from the Lord. And then focusing on serving others instead of surviving myself. There's a principle that I have in my business. It's my 3rd principle, and it says, work hard out of a love to serve, not a fear of failure. You see, that fear of you failing and you being a letdown to everyone, yourself and your family, or you trying to compete in the market and people seeing you as not as good as everyone else, that feeling you keep having, you keep setting on yourself, is putting you under so much stress. And you've got to lay that at the foot of the cross. You got to say, God, you sent Jesus to die for me, to have life and life abundantly, not just when I die, but here and now. And so I want to live that life abundantly. Help me to hand things over to you. Help me to live in the Spirit, and help me to focus so much on serving others that I forget about all these worries in my life. And yeah, I know this is kind of weird for a testosterone video, but like this is genuinely what seriously increased my testosterone to almost 800, and hopefully it will get me to 900 next year. I'll update you guys whenever that happens. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Hope you guys enjoyed. And this channel exists to help you make your first $1,000 online for free. My benefit is I get to learn how to teach, and yeah, I get to see numbers go up on a screen. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. If you want to learn how to make your first 1K, choose the playlist below. We got skills, beliefs, and getting clients. Hopefully that'll help you guys make some money. And come tell me if it does, because I'll be super excited and we can celebrate together. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.